Okay, so this one you are looking at the paper 2, all right. Diagram 5 shows part of the model from cylinder given radius of the largest cylinder. Okay, so this one is the largest one, right? Okay, so let us make a highlight first that this one the largest radius. Okay, this one somehow like that. Okay, the radius of a largest cylinder is 8d, and then for each subsequent smaller one the radius decrease by 4. So this is another keyword, each subsequent decrease by 4. How to interpret decrease by 4? Which means it gets smaller and smaller by 4 cm. Excuse me, right? In other words, we should say that it is getting negative 4. So in this case here, we find out that this decrease and increase by 4 cm, they are like getting smaller by 4 or getting larger by 4, like that, right? So decrease by 4 means they get smaller. So this is plus or minus only. So when it's plus or minus, in your mind, you should relate to arithmetic progression. Yeah, arithmetic progression. Okay, so now you have to find, what do they want? Find the number of cylinder that needed to form the model. So they want to know how many cylinder are there that needs to form the model. So are they look for, okay, in this chapter of AP, let's do a quick recall. Okay, in AP, it's very straightforward. Am I right? AP, either they ask you for term, TN, number of term, where it involve the first term and then you plus the n minus 1 term of d. Am I right? So that is the first important idea here. And then the second idea will be they are looking for the sum of n term. Am I right? Which is n over 2. And then you have a big bracket, 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so these two question, okay, I mean these two formula, it just means that this one they want to ask for number of terms. Okay, how many terms are there? And then this one they simply means that they want to ask you for what is the sum. It could be sum of height, it should be sum of anything. Okay, so here you this chapter, right, progression, it doesn't run far from these two, especially for AP. So now back to our question. They asked us that, okay, they gave us the biggest one and then each one getting smaller by 4. Okay, so you want to find the number of cylinder that needed to form the model. Okay, so which means you have to find out how many cylinder are there. So this one is considered 1, this one is considered 2, 3, 4. Am I right? And there could be some more lah. Okay, so these are our terms, which means the question is asking for Tn. Okay, which means how many terms are there, how many cylinder are there, because this one is considered as a first cylinder, second cylinder, third cylinder, fourth cylinder. Am I right? So which means they want to ask us in this model how many term will be there, which means they ask for Tn and they want to find out what is the n. Is that okay? All right, so in this case you have to understand on one condition that, okay, so how do we know? Because here we have the information on the height? We don't, right? And in fact the AP is only for the radius, because they only give us the radius of largest one and then they tell us for each subsequent smaller the radius is the one that decreased by 4. So here the AP is focusing only on the radius. Yeah, it doesn't involve the volume yet. Do you get me? So first you must understand progression can happen in terms of the radius, can happen in terms of volume, can be the height. Okay, so for part A, they focus on radius only. Okay, so the first radius, so you will call it as T1 or you call it as first term A. Okay, it is 80. Am I right? So your A is 80. Do they tell you about the common difference? So Tn, you relate to this formula here, right? Tn equals to A plus n minus 1d. Okay, so A plus N minus 1D. A, you have gotten it, it's 80, am I right? Then now it's the D, because N minus 1 we cannot find. Okay, there's no clue for our N, we don't know which is what we want to find. So we find out D first. Do we have the D? Which means, do you know that what's the common difference that getting smaller and smaller? Yes, we do, right? It tells us that it's decreased by 4. So this is actually our D. Okay, so D is negative 4. So now you know that you have your A, you have your D. So shall we put in the Tn? Okay, so Tn will be equals to, okay, A, which is our first term, plus N minus 1 D. Okay, but this is not sufficient to help us. Why? Because it doesn't help us to find out what is our N. Okay, we are short of another clue. So you must start to think of, yeah. When this one is 80, okay, minus 4. So which means this one, the radius will be 76. Am I right? Because 80 minus 4, 76. Then another one will be 72, because it keeps minus 4, minus 4. Am I right? Okay, so it keeps minus 4. This one also go up, also minus 4. Okay, so in this case, you can imagine that it will be continue to decrease, and then this one will be 68 until there's moment where it gets smaller and smaller until it gets only 0. Am I right? Yeah. And then will it become negative or not, the radius? It's not possible, right? Radius must be a length one. So which means there's an idea that the term, no matter how many cylinder you have, the n term must be still more than 0. Am I right? Because this n is talking about your radius, and your radius somehow also must be bigger than 0. So this is another clue that you have, which means our Tn here, it has to be more than 0, right? So let us put in Tn is 80. Okay, let me use black color to solve. Okay, so we have our 80 plus n minus 1, okay, times with our negative 4. Okay, and this whole thing must be more than 0. That is what we want. That is what we know. All right, so that we can substitute the Tn. And now the whole expression left only n, which we want to find, right? So that we can answer how many total cylinder are there. So here, 80, we have to expand this part. Okay, negative 4 times n, negative 4n. Okay, negative 4 times positive, negative 4, negative 1, we get positive 4. So it is bigger than 0. And now you have 80 plus 4, 84 minus 4n. Yeah, bigger than 0. So here, be very careful. Now you have minus 4n. Okay, this 84 here, you bring towards here, there's no need to change anything. Am I right? Because this is just plus and minus. Okay, but now when we don't want the negative 4, we want n only. This is negative 4 times n. Am I right? So to get rid of it, negative 4 times n, we need to divide by negative 4. Am I right? Negative 4 times n, we want to get rid of the negative 4, we have to divide by negative 4. And remember, when you divide by negative 4 or times negative, you have to change the sign. Yeah. So here also we are doing the same. We will be divide by negative 4 as well. Okay. So here negative 4 and negative 4 we cancel off. Then now we left with n less than 21. When n must be less than 21, that means n equals to, the nearest number will be 20. So which means here, find the number of cylinder that needs to form the model. Hence, the n will be 20. Is that okay? So that's how you answer the questions, that total there will be 20 cylinder, okay, because you want to make sure that your radius will be more than 0. Okay, that's how you substitute in your n term to make it more than 0. All right. So Farisha, is it okay? Can I hear some feedback from you?
Yes, I'm fine now.
Yeah. Is it better, clearer now how to tackle the question?
Mm,
Good.
yes.
All right. So now we move on, yeah, to 5b. So 5b, I'm going to solve it in blue so that you will be clearer. So 5b here, okay, ask us, given that the height now, okay, so just now one was using radius, we managed to find out that there's total of 20 models, cylindrical model, right? So now, given that the height of the biggest cylinder now, okay, now only they tell us about the height. So the height here, they give us that it is 30, okay, and then the height of the subsequent smaller cylinder is decreased by 1. So to this one, it become 29, okay. So here it gave us a lot of information lah. First thing is A equals to 30. The second one is that the difference here is -1. So just bear in mind that the part B, they are talking about the height now. Yeah, talking about the height. Okay, so this progression is focusing on the height now. Okay, so you have your A, you have your D, and let's see what they want. So first thing they ask us to find the volume. Okay, find the volume of biggest cylinder. So this one. So now this is easy, right? They just want the volume of the biggest. So volume is equals to pi r square h. So this one I'm taking from Michelle's paper. So Michelle's would probably already write down the volume first, okay, so that she can remember it better. Okay, so now the question is very straightforward. They're asking for volume. So our pi here in maths, we usually put in 3.142. So check again. Do they actually call us for uh, in terms of pi? You can always make sure that you check first. Does the question require our final answer to be pi? Do they mention anything? No, which means we need to substitute the pi. Okay, or you want to keep the pi also, I don't see any problem lah. When the question doesn't mention anything, right, that means you have what do you call that now, freedom whether you want to express it in terms of pi or not, okay. But I would strongly suggest all of you that once they ask for volume, right, just put in, okay, 3.142, and then the r here, the radius is given right just now, the biggest one, it's in the question, biggest is 80, so we need to substitute in 80 square. Okay, and then the height here, we need to substitute with uh, height, which is given 30. All right, so calculator, everybody. This one is straightforward. So calculator, 3.142 times 80 square times 30. What's your answer, Farisha? 603,264, right? And then this one they tell us is cm, so this is cm cube. Okay, that's it. All right, then we move on to the height of the model. Okay, which means they ask us to find the height. The height means like the total height lah. Okay, ketinggian. So how to get this? It has to be starting from the first one. You want the height, right? Which means they want this thing total. First thing is 30, then add on 29, and then 28, 27, 26, right? So just now we know that there are total of 20 of them. Am I right? So just restate our part 2 where our n is actually 20, right? And then we have our A, we have our D. So here also you need another interpretation that this is actually asking for the total height, which means they want the sum, okay, sum of the 20 model. Okay, so just put in by using this formula that we discussed just now here, okay, where you have 2 n over 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so n over 2 means 20 over 2. Okay, and then bracket 2a will be 2 times our first term. What is our first term? Now you're looking at the height, right? So the first term of the height is 30. Okay, so please don't confuse. Just now one was for the radius. Now you need the total height. You're looking at the height progression where your first term is 30. Okay, 2a plus n minus 1 is 19 times our difference, which is negative 1. Okay, so it's very important for you to interpret the d correctly because the model is supposed to be getting smaller. Okay, so now this one will be 10. Just simple maths lah, huh? This one 60 plus with negative 19. Okay, do it carefully. Then now you should get the answer. Let's press our calculator. 60 minus 19, 41 times 10, 410. So you should be getting 410. This one is total height. So they are in terms of cm. Okay, so is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, Farisha, do you have any more question?
I have two more questions, teacher.
Yeah, sure. You can ask. Okay. Now, this
Uh,
I just do a summary before we move on. Okay, I realize that the part that you may be confusing is on the red color and the blue color interpretation. Am I right? Because some of you thought that progression uh, 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 cannot be just radius that is progressing, or you all not sure that actually progression can only be the radius that is the one progressing. In this question, right, there is another possibility that they can be only the radius that is one decreasing and the height is kept constant. It is also possible. Do you get me? So in those cases, which means the height is not progressing, the height remain constant 30 cm, and then you will have the radius that is the one progressing. Do you get me? So you have to read the question properly, whether which is the variable that is progressing here. Like in this case, you have two. The one red color, which is the radius, and the one which is blue color. So I hope that you will understand when you do it, you have to make sure that you are clear on which one is the one progressing. Is it the radius, is it the height, or is it the volume that is progressing in a certain pattern? Yeah, then only you can be clear lah. Am I right, Farisha? You are confused about these two?
actually, yes.
Yeah, you can say actually.
Uh, actually, like I do, I'm not sure A one what. Then I was confused from B, because like up there they put radius, then down there they want height.
Hmm.
So I not sure how to start.
Yes. Okay, good question actually. It's not just you, okay, Farisha, trust me. Many also face the same problem. All right. So it's good that you ask and then I can clarify for you. Then now you are more sure, isn't it? That actually radius can be progression by itself and then height can be another progression by itself with its own A, own D. Okay, and more importantly is you need to interpret the question so that you know what are they doing or what do they ask for. Just like this one, when they find the number of cylinder, they actually ask you, they expect you to know the interpretation is this one, where you need to know your total term and your number of term. No matter which term is that, it will always be bigger than zero, but it's just very small and very small. Am I right? Okay, so I hope that you understand now. Is it okay?
Yes.
Good. All right. So, which is another question? Santini, are you there with us? Do you have anything to ask?
No, teacher.
Okay. Jasmira, is it clearer for you? Jasmira, do you need any more clarification? Because I find that Jasmira may also face the same problem as what Farisha did, yeah, because that's a common thingy, okay, which means you have to really do a lot more. yeah, Farisha, then you will see like how the question is changing its style. Okay, but after all, it doesn't run away from the two formula. The first one is TN, the next one is SN. Yeah. Okay, that is for arithmetic. Okay, what else that you want to ask, Farisha?
Uh, 14B and C about log.
Ah, good. Okay, so this question, oops, sorry. I should be opening. Yeah, this one. 14, yeah. Okay, so let's take this out. So it is. Wow, excuse me. This morning was like quite cold. I keep on hearing the sound of the wind. Ooh, like that. Very strong wind. Okay, now let's come back to this one. Okay, so how do you solve 14? Is it your problem is with the whole 14 ABC?
B and C log. I still slow on log.
Okay, no problem. So do you okay, the A you can solve, right? Because you start to see how this one, this part, then you are okay already, isn't it?
Hmm.
Okay, good. So now let's look at 14B. Okay, is there someone who typed something? Rachel was like, yeah. I was like, oh, nobody. Never mind. Okay, Rachel, we will continue with that later. Okay, to finish up the paper. Now I'm helping with the form 4 because they came in first and then they asked questions about our last year uh, pentakseran sumatif, the akhir tahun. So I am helping them first, yeah. So you can also take it as a revision because I believe that over the time you may forget also. So let's just revise it together, okay? Now, look at this question, yeah. They gave you something here, okay? They have given you something here. Let's highlight first. So these are the given ones, okay? Where x is a power m, y is a power n. Then they ask us to show this thing. Show that this is equals to this one. So which means that we cannot straight away write down the whole thing. When you are asked to show something, you have to choose whether you want to start from the left to become the right or you start from the right to become the left. So in this case, it's very obvious that you cannot be starting from here. Am I right? Because you cannot be starting from something without the log and then you want to come out with a log. It is to me, it's a bit of more difficult. All right. So for me, I will start by looking at the left hand side. Okay, where I will start with the log A. Okay, and then I have this expression of cube root. Okay, it's a cube root of x. Okay, over ay square. Over ay square. Okay, so this one is log a over b. So when you have a over b, you know that you can open it up, become two terms, right? Which is log a, and then you have a cube root. Okay, cube root also I can actually make it become x power 1 over 3 straight lah, which is faster, right? And then here, the divide is actually a minus in log, right? Okay, log a minus log b equals to log a over b. So now I have my log a. Another one is bracket ay square. Yeah, ay square. All right. So this ay square also gave me an idea that I should actually later on open it up lah, huh? Okay, so I open it up, log a. Okay, this one is x 1 over 3. So when I minus this whole thing, right? So be very careful. This minus here applies to the first term, which is log a, right? And then the minus also, even though this is a plus, when I open it up, this is a plus, okay? Plus log log y square, right? Log y square, okay? Log y square, log this a y square. Actually, it should be like that. Am I right? Okay. However, because my minus, I know that it applies to this term, the minus also come to this one, okay? So I would just take out, and then what I mean is I straight away write down here as a minus. It's easier for me, okay? Everybody can understand, right? So we just minus here and minus here. All right. So now it seems like you have to show to come out with the m and the n, right? Which means the log will be gone. So how to make the log gone? Which means the log x space a has to be substituted. So the log x space a, okay. Let me see here. Or will it be faster? Okay, you can do it like that first, yeah. Okay. So let us bring the 1 over 3 because the power, okay, the law of logarithm, the power can move to the front. So this one will be log x base a, right? Then we minus this one. Okay, log 1, 1, you get 1. Okay, log a, you get a. Okay, so this one, the 2 also can bring to the front, become log y and then base a. Am I right? Okay, so now we need to substitute. X equals to a power m. Yeah, so this one 1 over 3. What is x? X is actually a power m minus 1 minus 2. And then what is y? Y is a power n, right? Okay, so in this case, happily your m bring to the front become 1 over 3m. So left with your log a, right, which is 1, isn't it? Then minus 1, then this one will be minus 2, the power of n also bring down. Then you got log a, which is also 1, multiply. So now 1 over 3m times 1 is 1 over 3m. And then minus 1, continue to copy. Negative 2n times 1, negative 2n, isn't it? So here you go. We are done. Okay, does it show already? Yes. 1 over 3m minus 1 minus 2m. Okay, so this question is quite straightforward where you don't have to change anything of here to become log, but just substitute in will be faster. Okay, so Farisha, is it okay for you?
Wait, teacher.
Huh?
Wait, teacher, I'm digesting.
Oh, you're digesting. Okay, so step 1, is it okay for you first? Step 1 is just log a minus log b. Okay, and then this one, the law of logarithm, if it's a power, we can bring to the front. This part okay, right?
Mm.
Okay, and then log a, you get 1. Log 8, you get 1. Okay, means log a, let's say that I have log c base c, I always get 1. Why? Because when I take back, when the log gone away, right, the base will come back here to become the c here, and then the 1 becomes smaller. So isn't that c power 1, you get back c?
Oh, okay.
That's why everything like log 10, 10, you always get 1. Log 20, 20, you get 1. Log 13 or base 13, you get 1. Do you get me?
Yes.
Yeah, so everything that is the same, like here, the power m I bring to the front, so it become 1 over 3m. And then I left with log a only, right? Log a, which is also 1. Do you get me?
Oh,
And then
yes.
the n I bring to the front become 2n, right? I only left with this one, which is log a also, so become 1 also.
Mm.
Okay? Then
Then the two did. Oh, okay.
2 comes
Okay,
from
okay.
the power.
Yeah.
And the power is only applied to y power 2. It's not for the a power 2 also because there's no bracket here. If there's a bracket, which means your a also square, your y also square. Is that okay?
Okay, I understand now.
Yeah, good. Okay. So Rachel, Santini, Jasmira, are you all okay also? Yeah, this question is quite straightforward. So the 3 marks, where do we give the 3 marks? We give the 3 marks to the application of the law of logarithm 1. The second law will be you put in the power, also put in, so you apply again the law of logarithm. And then the third one, you are also putting in where log a become 1, you get another 1 mark. Then you show. Okay, so 3 marks is given like that, 1, 1, 1 each. Is that okay? Any more question? No? Shall we
No.
go into C? Okay. So now we go on to use a maybe green color. Okay. So C. C we use here, yeah. So this one is very obvious. Relationship between variable x and y is given by this equation. Find the value of x and of y which satisfy both the equations. It's very clear that this is simultaneous. And that simultaneous put in the log. Okay, so this is the trend now. Simultaneous will no longer be just the x and y. They can combine with indices, they can combine with log. Okay, yeah, to make things, or now they can also put insert. Yeah, they can also put insert for your simultaneous. Okay, so that's the trend. Yeah, Rachel. So 3 power y, let's start solving. 3 power y, and then you have a multiply. Okay, multiply with 9 power x minus 2. Okay, they told you that, okay, this is equals to 1. So this is our equation number 1. Okay, and then equation number 2 will be the log y base 3 equals to 1 plus log base 3, and then you have x minus 2, right? Okay, so this one, it's clear that you have to find the thing that is the same, okay, within them. Let's say the first one, you see that this is base 3, this is base 9. So when you first approach the question, please relate that 3 and the 9, they are all base 3, right? It's just that 3 power 1 is 3, 3 power 2 it's 9. Yeah, so here you should start by putting in 3y, okay, and it will be a multiply to make this become 3 base uh, square, and the whole thing x minus 2 here also is a power that is together. So this is 1. No longer 1 huh? And we are not yet done, so don't label yet. We continue. Okay, so now this is a multiply, right? So in power, so do step by step. When you're not sure, times, just put times. This one is 3 power 2x minus 4. Okay, 3 power 2x minus 4, okay, equals to, okay, the one here, I think you have to have an idea that since all these are base 3, here will also change to 3 power 0. Remember, anything power 0, you will always get 1. That's why here I can change it to 3 base and then make it power 0. Why? Because I start to see that when these are multiplication relationship, right, which means I can actually add them, which means everything is 3 power, and then I plus here 2x minus 4. Okay, 3 plus 2x minus 4, so that I can combine because their base is the same, right? And now you can see that this power here and this power here, we can equate them together because they are both base 3, right? Okay, so here let's continue. Now I can happily declare that y plus 2x minus 4 is giving us equals to 0. Let us make this equation number 3. Okay, then later on you can do your simultaneous. Yeah, so next one, now look at to number 2. Number 2, this one is all log 3 also, right? So let's do it. You have log base 3 y. So I have a feeling that this 1 also I have to change it to become log 3 base 3. Remember Farisha just now, when have log 3 base 3, you change to 1. Now when you have 1, you have to know that you have to be creative to change it to log 3 base 3. Okay, and then this one is log, you have x minus 2, okay, and then also a base 3. Am I right? So that gives us an idea that all the log, okay, remember this is same log, so 3 plus we can make it become multiply, right? this is a 3 here, okay, and then remember log a plus log b become log a times b, so log 3 plus log this one become log 3 times x minus 2. Is it clearer that you can combine like that? So now both sides also left with log base 3, and then we can happily declare that this y here is actually the same as this one. Am I right? So now we make a statement that actually y is equals to 3x minus 6, because I straight away expand this here. Okay, 3x minus 6. Okay, so that's how I get my second, my fourth equation, I should say. Okay, so now I have equation 3 and equation 4. So this one is better to do substitution, because since I already have y equals to 3x plus 6. So here I'm going to continue by saying that I'm going to substitute. Okay, I'm going to substitute my number 4 into my number 3. Yeah, substitute 4 into 3. Rachel also do together, yeah, Rachel. Okay, because make it as a revision for yourself. So put 4 into 3. So here we have 3x minus 6, right? Which is our y. Okay, and then you plus 2x and then minus 4. I hope that you see the part where I am putting in, let's make it, okay, this one, 3x minus 6. Wow, so ugly. Put it into the y here. Yeah, so I have 3x minus 6 plus 2x minus 4. Okay, and this will be equals to 0, right? This will be equals to 0. Then it's just simple maths now. Okay, where 3x plus 2x is 5x. Am I right? Then minus 6 minus 4 is minus 10. Okay, and now we are almost there. You can see, right? 5x equals to 10, and then you will have x equals to 10 divided by 5. We have 2, and we are not done yet because we haven't find y. So y will be equals to 3 times 2. 3 times 2, and then minus 6. So we are getting there. Y equals to 0. Okay, so our y equals to 0. That's it. So we are done. Okay, is it fun? Okay, answer the question. Hence x equals to 2, y equals to 0. Is it okay? Everybody clear? Can I see thumbs up if you are good? Thank you. Alright, yeah. Rachel, you can solve right this question? Can I? Okay. Yeah, thank you. You can put down your hand. Okay. So good. We can alright. Farisha, you have any more question to ask?
For now, no.
For now, no, huh? So that is good. At least I can see your effort. Okay. Try to use this weekend also to do some app maths. Yeah, because even though you have one more week, right? I believe. Yeah, because it is one more week. Am I right? Yeah. Then only your final paper will be at maths. So take some time to do. Then only you focus on your subject for next week. Yeah. All right. So that is about paper 2. So Jasmira, do you have any question to ask for form 4? Jasmira, are you there? You have question to ask? Okay. Jasmira, okay? Ah, no question. All right, good. So no question. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That is good. All right. So now, Rachel, shall we proceed back to the our Sarawak paper? Okay. So Sarawak paper. Let me off this one first. Sarawak paper here. I remember this one is our extra class last week. The week, you know, when the holiday starts, we actually finish until the linear law. Okay, so linear law. Have you all like try to plot the graph? Rachel, do you try to plot the graph? So I'm going back to use this one. I realized that I have actually here. Number 9. So Rachel, do you need any more help with number 9, or shall we proceed to just number 10? Rachel?
You can continue number 10 already.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's move on to number 10. Okay. So we have here is oops, 1 minute. We make this become larger. Okay. Okay. So for this question, okay, it is a logo designed by a fashion designer. So this logo is formed by two identical circles with a radius of 5. So it's given here that is touching each other. So from now, the circle are both the circles are touching the arc of a larger circle with center O and the radius of 15. Okay, so now they ask you to show that the perimeter of the shaded region is 11 and 2/3. Okay, 11 and 2/3. All right, so from what we can see here, they ask us to find out the perimeter of this shaded region. Yeah, so this one is from 5 chapter 1. Okay, circular measure. Okay, so how to go about this question? First thing, we have to know that uh if I want to find out this region, that means I have to probably be taking the whole larger one, right? The whole larger one. And let me see. Yeah, because here it doesn't tells me about anything, right? Let me see here. We have a bigger circle and then we have a smaller ones, right? So the shader region, if we want the perimeter, it's just that we okay, so sorry. Okay, you have here 1 perimeter, 2, and then 3. Am I right? Which means we don't have to care about all these others because they just want us to find the perimeter. So I should be highlighting here. The perimeter involved is 1, 2, and also 3. Am I right? Okay. So in short, we have to just find out these 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 length. Then we add them up, then that's the parameter, and we should be able to show this number already, right? So the problem here is to find the arc. Okay, let's recall about this chapter, right? This chapter, circular measure, is also a simple chapter because the formula that is involved is S equals to R theta. In fact, here the first part we are only using this S, okay, which we are asking for the um arc length, right? So S equals to R theta, we only need the R and we only need the theta. Okay, the theta that is in radian. So radius we have already, right? 5, which means now we only need to find out the theta. Okay, so let us try with the theta. Okay, okay, so you see, when we know that, okay, let us try by doing the smaller one. All right, so the radian number 1 and number 2, they should be somehow the same, okay, because they are identical. So 1, what we can do is we need to find out the theta, which means this arc length should be subtended by this theta angle in the middle. Am I right? So now it's very important for us to find out what is this here. Okay, um here and here. We only know here 5, right? And we only know here 5. There's not much idea that we can take from here. Am I right? Okay, rather I don't see that we can start from here. Sorry, maybe we start from the bigger one. Why? Because we have a lack of information if we want to find out this radian, right? Maybe we want to try with the bigger one now, okay, which we have the radius, which is 15. Okay, why I get stuck just now? Because I find that I cannot proceed because I don't know what's the other length that I have here, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is two identical one with 5. So when they touch together, let me see here. Yeah, so let us put here, let's say when this one radius is 15, right? This one the radius is also 15. Am I right? Let me see here. When this is 5, I can know that this theta, right? This will be my theta. And then for this length here, until this length, okay, I can actually collect some information whereby, okay, I think I can do it this way, yeah. Before doing it become this one, I would prefer, okay, because why? I need the theta. When I need the theta, I must think of a way how to get it, right? So I will use triangle, because triangle are usually the easiest for us to find out. So let's think of it as like this, okay. Yep, I think this is doable. Why? Because I know that this whole thing is 15. Am I right? And then I know that this radius here, okay, will be doing me a 5. Right, this one here. Okay. Yeah. So I should be doing like that. Okay. See this one. This one we have here will be 15. Right? This one. We are more uh confirmed with this one. This is 15, the whole length. And then minusing the 5 here, I know this is 10. Am I right? Yeah. This one I can be sure because this is the radius for the bigger one. And then I minus out the 5 here. I know that I have a 10, right? Yeah, let me see. Correct. Okay. So this one is a 5. So 15 minus my 5, I left with 10. Okay. And then what else that I have? The radius here, look. Because here also radius of the smaller one. So I have a 5 here. Yeah. So now what I can form from here. Okay. Because I know that this is the theta that I want, it will contribute half of this arc that I'm interested in. Okay. So I can find out my theta here to answer to this theta. Yeah. So my sine theta will give me 5 over 10. Agree? So my theta will be giving me 30 degree. Yeah. Shift sign, everybody. Take out calculator. Shift sign, you know 30 degree, right? So the angle at O in radian now. So you need to change it to radian because our S equals to R theta comes in radian. So we go to radian, we will have to times pi over 180. Okay, so now it is a pi over 6. Okay, did I? Sine 30 pi over 6, right? Shift sign 1 over 2. Yeah, 30. So 30 times pi over 8 should be pi over 6. I'm right. Okay, but don't forget that now when we want to find this whole theta here, it is two parts of this. So this should be another part here. So to find out the whole theta, okay, times 2, so that there's a theta here. Okay, so 2 theta should be pi over 6 times 2. So that's how we get pi over 3. Yeah, pi over 3. Okay, so now you got the s equals to r theta, you got the theta. Okay, so now I think we can happily find out this part first. Okay, so let us find out the S3 first, because we label that as the third length that we want to find. So our radius for this one is a big circle, right? It's a big one. So our R radius is 15, and our theta here, we managed to find out that this theta is actually pi over 3. So happily we found the first one, the S3, which is here will become maybe pi over 5, right? Yeah, so we're gonna have 5 pi. Okay, so that is the big circle, the outline. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so now moving on, we want to find the arc length of a small circle. Okay, so the small one, we know the radius, okay, is 5, but how do we find out about this one? Okay, about this one, let me see here. Do we have any idea? They just says that it touch, right? So which means this is a tangent. Yeah, I think I get another clue now. Okay, what is another clue? Let me use red color. Okay, so when I have a 5 here and a 5 here, okay, so when they touch each other, we will call that this is a tangent, right? Let me see. Can I? 5 and a 5. Okay lah, I can actually also do it like that lah, making this become a triangle, where I put this as a theta. Can I? Now the problem is we have to find out the theta. Okay, I'm searching for method how to find the theta. I know this is 5 here. Do I have any other choice? I know that this is pi over 3. Here we cannot go by ratio, right? Now this one is okay, bigger one done. This is tangent, only tells that this is 90. This is tangent, also just tell that it touch to the center at 90. It doesn't help us to know what is this theta here. Am I right? So now we have to think of a way how to solve for this theta. I have this 5. I have this 5. Now I have this included angle. Okay, when we used to solve this one, right, we have the 5 here. This one, we don't have any idea, right? Two over we know this is 30, it doesn't help us, because even though we know that this is 60 degree also. Okay, these two circle here, it doesn't tell us, right? Rachel, do you see anything? Have you solved this one or not?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? Okay, so the first part, okay, Now we are finding this S1 and S2, which is the first and the second parameter. Then we added 3, yeah, we will get it. But now I am facing problem to find out about this one. Let me go backward. Okay. Let us see if we can we find some hint here or not. Okay. So we know that this is 5. Let me erase first, yeah. Okay, I want to see that the triangle that is involved here. We know that this is the point, okay, and then we know that this is another point. 1 minute now. Okay, let's do it together. And then we also know that this one and this one. Okay, is there some hint that we can see from here? I feel like I can see something now. Okay, all right. You should see that this should be a straight line, right? Because they are touching each other. Okay, so um so from here we know that actually this one, this is a 60 degree. No, this is a 60 degree. Okay, and this is a 60, right? Because just now this one is 30 times 2, so 60. This one is the same, right? So we also can say that this one becomes 60, this one become 60. Am I right? Yeah, I can see something now. So I can happily say that this will be 120. Yeah, right? Yeah. So with that, I can happily declare that. Why? Because they are a straight line. They are the radius of the big circle, right? So when we found out that this one is 60, we can also be sure that this triangle that we are drawing here is also 60 and 60 because total 180 ma. Then when they share the same straight line, it touches here, right? So here 60, here 120. So now when we are solving this part of our arc length, okay, this is our arc length, right? So we can also say that it belongs to this 120 lah. Okay, so yes. Now our S1 and S2, I got an idea already. Okay, our S1 and S2. So S1 over here, we have to make the 120 first. So R is our radius, okay, and theta is our 120. So I'm changing 120 to pi, so I times pi to pi radian divided by 100. Okay, so now our R put in is 5, and then this one I think we can get is 260, 360, so 2 over 3 pi. Okay, so press calculator, we can get 10 pi over 3. Whew, good job. Okay, so now I haven't answered the question yet. I have to put in one more line, which I write here, perimeter. Okay, remember to write now, perimeter of shaded region. Okay, shaded region, it's equals to our S1, S2, and S3. So our S1 and S2 will be the same, which will be 10 pi over 3. Another one is also 10 pi over 3. And then you have the third one, which is 5 pi. Okay, so let us check. I think 10 over 3 times 2 plus 5. Remember, perimeter I teach you before that, even though they are the same, you should not write times 2. Try to state this one plus this one and the third. Okay, yeah, I'm getting 11 and 2 over 3. How about you, Santini and Rachel? Let's see. Okay, good. Santini and Rachel? Cannot. Then we move on to part B. So part B, they ask us to calculate the area of the shaded region. Interesting. So with the theta that we have, right, we are not scared. Why? Because area is only half r square theta. Am I right? It's given, I think, the formula. Okay, so you'll just find this, and let me see here. Should we just find the big sector? The big sector, yeah, I think we need to find the big sector first. Then only we yeah, because we cannot find it as a trapezium. This is not trapezium. Yeah, so we find the big sector, then we minus out the triangle here. Yeah, I think it's easier this way. We can minus this triangle out, and then we minus these two sector lor. So let's make it. Yeah, I repeat. The plan will be find this big sector here because we have the data. Then we minus out this triangle. Some more minus out these two white one. Then yes, we can get the area of the shaded region. All right, Rachel and Santini, do you get the idea that actually you need to plan out? Yeah. Then now you start to just carry out the what do you call that, calculation. Yeah. So now you can write here as the area of big arc, area of big circle. Yeah, area of big circle. All right. So the area here will be half times r square 15. Theta will be pi over 3. Same thing like just now. Okay. So our area will be half times our r, which is 15 square, and then our theta will be pi over 2. Calculate first. Okay, so half times 15 square times pi over 3. They didn't tell us to express in pi ma. So we have to times let me see here. Okay lah, to avoid a lot of what do you call that, divide by 3. Okay, to avoid a lot of decimals, final answer only I put in the pi. Okay, do you get me? Because I scared that later a lot of decimals. Yeah, when you put in the 3.142, then your answer will run away, right? So 37.5 pi first. Okay, then now I find out the area of a triangle. Okay, area of triangle is we can use half times height times length, but we don't have this height, or can we straight away use the same thing also, where we have our area of a triangle. Our triangle is, okay, just put it as triangle lah. Okay, so half times our radius we have, right, which is 10, isn't it? R square, yeah. So we can times 10 times 10. Okay, half times AB sine C. Use the triangle formula from the solution of triangle. Half times AB, which is these two length, 10 sine the included sine C, sine 60. Okay, so now you get 50 times sine 60. 43.30, I would prefer to put more decimal, 3013. Okay, because this is intermediate working, so we put more decimal. So now execute the third plan, which we minus out this area also. So we will area of sector of smaller circle, yeah. Smaller circle. Okay, so now we go on to smaller circle. So the same, we will be just using the first formula, okay, which is half r square theta, okay. Half r square is where? R is our smaller one, so 5 square, right? And then theta, okay. So r square theta, the theta will be our small circle theta, which we have found just now as here, 2 pi over 3, right? 2 pi over 3. Okay, so let's do it, where we have 0.5 times 25 times 2 over 3. We keep it in pi first, remember. Why? So that later on only you deal with that. So you have 25 over 3 pi. Okay, so be very careful. This one is just for one of them. This one is just one only. Okay, so now area of big circle you have. So now let's answer the question, area of shaded region. Yeah, area of shaded region. So first thing, big circle, which is 37.5 pi. Then I need to take this big circle minus of the triangle. So triangle is here, 43.3013. Then I minus off this one, the small circle, I need two of them. Right, 25 over 3 pi. Right? So let's move on. So let's do it in terms of pi first. Meaning, I will take this 2 pi minus first. Then I'll multiply with the pi. Okay, then I'll minus this one. Do you get me? Okay, so first thing, key in calculator, 25 over 3 times 2 first. You are with me, right? So you know that I'm taking 37.5, okay, to minus out with 50 over 3. Both of these are in terms of pi. Yeah, then only I minus 43.3013. Okay, so here I would have 37.5 minus this answer. I get a 20.8333. So I times with 3.142. So that I can get my 65.45833. Okay, to minus my 43. Do you understand now? I have to keep it to 4 decimal places, yeah, so as to secure my answer won't run later. So I take this answer minus my 43.3013. So I would have 22.157, right, which I can round it off to 22.16 because 2 decimal places and 4 significant figures. So I will put 22.16. Okay, 2.16. Does it ask us to be in pi? No. Okay, so 22.16 cm square. Okay, correct. Any more problem? Okay, can I see those who are with me? Do you have problem or not? Can do, Rachel? Santini? No problem? Can.
Yes, teacher.
Good. All right. So I have also Jasrine who came in just now, right? Oh, need to digest. Yeah. Okay, can you tell me first if any parts that you don't know how to start with or any part that you are stuck? Like just now, I solve it together with you. That's why I want to let you know that I also will struggle, but you can always think of it over and over again, or even you erase it, because sometimes our drawing may distract us. So after I erase it, I find that, oh yeah, I can see it clearer, that I got this 60, and then Here 60 60, that's how I got my 120. Because otherwise, like when I got stuck just now, I really cannot do, where even I want to make this become a triangle, so I don't have enough information to support, so I have difficult time to decide what is this angle, right, Rachel? So do you need any more explanation, the green color part or the red color part? Rachel, do you need any more, or we can proceed to the next question? Can I hope that I'm not too fast. No more, you explain it already. Okay, you just need time to digest it, because yeah. Okay, after digest, if you have any more question, you can just ask. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, this is a good questions. Okay, whenever you see things like that, be prepared. It should be integration and differentiation. Yeah, it's always like that. Okay, in fact, this question is in your textbook already, right? Remember? Yeah. So let's move on. Actually, I would encourage you to do what, if you're hardworking, right? You try all the state paper, and then you also try the 2021 state paper, because in 2021 nobody knows what are the pattern or what are the trend. So probably this year they will also look into the trend in 2021. So try to squeeze out time to do more for your benefit. Yeah, so let's come to this question. Can you see the question, or shall I enlarge some more? Okay, so let's do it. Yeah, maybe I put it bigger a bit. Okay, so that you all can see. Okay, so those form 4, please also start learning it, even though, yeah, I know it's your first time listening to this. Okay, so let's see. Diagram 5 shows an inverted. This is also a form 5 questions, because it's talking about differentiation. So this is an inverted conical container with a radius of 10 cm. So this is your radius of 10. The diagram is wrong. Either it's a radius of 10, or it's a diameter of 10. Then they want you to put 5. But I think it should be a diameter. Let's see the diameter lah. See the diameter tapak 10. Oh, luckily we have a BM version. So it's true that it should be diameter. This one wrong. So it should be diameter 10. So di sini 5. Okay, why? Because 5, 12, here is 13. Right? Yeah, because Pythagoras theorem. Okay, 5, 12, 13 should be correct. And the height is 12. Okay, water is poured inside at a constant rate of 5 cm per second. So this tells you what? 5 cm per second means this is a d change of height, right? This should be a dh, because why? This is a 5 cm. Okay, wait, okay, 5 cm per second. Okay, so per second is always telling you a dt. Okay, let's say that you don't know whether it is d what, because here only say cm. Okay, so no need to put in first, meaning you just put it as d something over dt, right? You just know that this cm shall be a height or a radius. We are not sure, but what we are sure at is the dt. Okay, because why? It is per second. So we put it here 5 first. Yeah, this is the first interpretation. Let's move on. They ask us to calculate the rate of change of height. Now the question come. They actually want us to rate of change between dh over dt is what they ask us to find. Okay, why? Because I know that rate always means dt, and then change of height. So height is the one that they're interested in. So dh over dt in the water in the container when the height is 6. So when we fix the height is 6. Yeah, we want to know what is the dh dt. Okay, so the questions already very clearly tell us what do they want. Okay, and for this chapter, the differentiation, you know that for this part the rate of change for conical is the most critical question, because you should know that there are two variables changing. When the radius change, the height also change, right? That's the difficult of a cone shape. So bear in mind that we need to borrow the idea of similar triangle. We need to make this one, the blue one, as a big one, a triangle, and a similar one should be the green one, right? So that you can compare them, okay, and to decide. So shall we put it this way, that our radius is 5, so radius over 5, okay, equals to our height, here, which is 12. Agree? Okay, so if I want to substitute, okay, now let us come back to this one. Yeah, we have a d something over dt, which give us as 5, okay, and then they ask us to find dh dt. So my way of solving is always dh dt is what we want to find. That means it's always equals to something dh here times with something dt here. Do you get me? So that this quantity here and this quantity later, they will cancel off each other. Do you get me? Then you can get the dh times 1, 1 times dt to give you what you want to find. Okay, so that's the formula. Yeah, that's how I do it. So which means dh something we don't know, and then this will be a d what over dt. Okay, so yeah, I think the questions here has some problem, because it should be water pour inside, should be a volume of water. Here should be 5 cm cube, so that I can be sure this is dv dt. Okay, so that I have this first quantity here, which is my dv dt. Okay, why? Because it's given over here, dv dt is 5. Then now it's also quite clear that I should be finding dh over dv, which means it's from the volume that I want my dh. Is that clear? I repeat, yeah. So from the question interpretation, I know that I want to find dh over dt, because they ask us to calculate the rate of change, which tell us dt of height dh. So dh over dt is what you want to find. So the what I mean is, my way is that, remember, it will always be a dh here over something times a something over dt, so that these two will cancel off. So now how do I decide? So I look back at the first part of the question. They gave me an idea that water is poured inside container at a constant rate of 5. This one should be cm cube per second. So I know that this is my dv dt. So I know that here should be my dh over dv also. All right, so that my dv later can cancel off. So how do I get this quantity now? Okay, because I know that this one should be my 5. 5 here, that's given. So this one is the one. So which means I should relate my v and my h. So how do I relate my v and my h? I can use the volume formula. Volume of cylinder is 1 over 3 pi r square h. Am I right? By r square h. Okay, by r square h. Okay, so yeah, this one should be multiplied times h. Okay, so now I have two variable here, r and h. Remember, when we differentiate, right, we cannot have two variable. Okay, we need to make them disappear. I mean, make one of them disappear. So the 1 over 3 is fixed. So now either we want to make the r disappear, or we want to make the h disappear. Okay, so back to how to make them disappear, we have to borrow the idea of the triangle. Okay, the similar triangle. Okay, so now you see that what you want is actually h to be kept, because later you want to differentiate the volume with respect to h. So that's why here it's very clear that you have to substitute your r. You have to get rid of your r. So which means here you have to make r as your symbol, your subject, so that you will keep the h. Yeah, times 5. So you're going to get 5h over 12. Okay, so now I have my r, which is 5h over 12. I'm going to substitute them inside here. 5h over 12 whole thing square. So I repeat, I hope that you understand. It's not up to us to decide. It's up to what the question want us to find. And from what they want us to find, we relate back what is given, okay, and what we can find out from the information. So in this case, we need to find dv over dh. That's why I know that I need to keep my h and I need to substitute my r. And to substitute my r, I have to borrow the idea of similar triangle. All right. So now let us simplify this one first. 1 over 3h pi. I multiply with this one, which is 25h squared over 144. Right? Okay. So let's do it. 25 over 144. Can I multiply with 1 over 3? Okay. So now I'm getting my volume only. My volume is 25 over 432. And this is my 432 with h times h cube. I get h square. H times h square. I get h cube, and then pi. Okay, so volume. Actually, my pi, I want to write it here with the number, because pi is a constant, so that later you won't confuse when you 25 pi. Okay, so now let us do a dv over dh. Okay, dv dh, this whole thing is a number only. So you just copy back 25 pi over 432. This is just a number. And what is changing, what is differentiating is the h. So you get here 3h squared. I repeat, variable is not involved. This is just like normal. If you have 3h or you have 4h cubed, your 4 you will still keep here, right? And then you are just differentiating the h power 3, become 3h squared, right? Power bring to front, power minus 1. So now you are happy that you got your dv dh. Okay, and then 25 pi over 432. Okay, I can times 3 so 25 over 432, I times 3, I get 25 pi. Okay, and I put my h square on top, because I can get 25 pi over 144 now. Okay, now what I want is dh dv. What I found is dv dh. So to get dh dv, I just terbalik on the left. So I will also terbalik here 144 over 25 pi h square. Right? Do you get it? So now to substitute it inside here, right? dv dh. Okay. So you can do it by 144 over 25 pi h square. Okay, 144 over 25 pi h square. Okay, good. So now multiply in 144. So I have my 144 times 5. Oh, I think no need, because the 5 and the 5 here I can simplify, right? So I can get 5 down here only. So I can get 144 over 5 pi h square. Okay. Do I have my question, my answer for h? Yes, they told me the h equals to 6. Am I right? So write down here, when h equals to 6, okay, my dh dt is actually 144 over 5 pi, and then my h is 6 square here. What is tedious here is that you have to remember, whatever that is on top, write on top first. Whatever that is at the bottom, so that later when you terbalik, you can terbalik them correctly. Yeah. So this is 144. So I have 36 times 5, 180. So 144 divide by 180, I get 4 over 5 pi. My 5 pi is down here. Alright, yeah. So that gives me my answer, 4 over 5 pi cm per second. That's it. Okay, so that is my 11A. Is it clearer now? Rachel or Santini, is it okay? Yes, So next one, area of shaded region is very clear. We have to find with dx because it's easier to deal with the region. So I find that it's very good. Yesterday talk, dx means duduk atas x, dy means duduk atas y, right? So this one is your region duduk atas x. So you just have to find from 0 to 4, okay, where you dx for this function, and then you minus off this triangle here. Am I right? Then you can get already, okay, the area of the shaded region. It is not very difficult, yeah, for this paper. Okay, so now it's 9:13. I'm overdue by 13 minutes. Shall I see that you're okay if we finish the final question first? The 11B. So that next lesson we can just start with number 12 and then we get it done for this paper. Until question 15, right? Yeah, until question 15. Shall we? Do you have some more time? Santini, Rachel, Jasrine. Yeah, can or not? I have, yeah. Okay, okay, can. All right, so let's just finish this. Okay, so just now I mentioned already, you have to do the dx, okay? Why? Because this area duduk atas x, yeah? So the region is here. So let us do it where I'm going to integrate the region in green, which is this whole thing. Oh, I should follow. Let me just follow the symbol given. It's easier. Okay, I will use green for this part. Okay, yeah. So let's integrate. Why I know that it's 4? Because it's of mercy that they gave us the p, right? So this will be the 0 until 4. Yeah. So it will give me this green color region where I'm going to use y dx and my y is x plus 8. Do you understand? Okay, let me write down like that. Okay, so this is a y dx, right? Okay, so it's actually 0 4, sorry, 0 4. Y is what? X plus 8. Do you get me? And dx. Okay, so this is a 0. Okay, all right. So this is my first part. Okay, the green color part. Okay, so integrate x power plus 1 over power, and then this one is plus 8x. Okay, so with that I have x squared over 2 plus 8x, and then I have from 4 to 0. Okay, so I substitute in, I get my 4 square over 2 plus 8 times 4, and then we minus 0. Yeah, because why? Because 0 over 2 also 0, 0 times 8 also 0. So as long as I show this one, so 4 square 16 over 2, 8, 8 plus 32, right? 8 plus 32, 40. So I have my green color part. Now I can do my okay lah, blue lah, I minus off the blue color. So the blue color is only this part. Now the thing is, I don't know what is this because I want to just minus off from this number to 4. So I have to find out this number. So how to find out this number? This number follow this equation, right? And this part here is so special that this is an x-intercept, which means the y is 0. So I can say my x squared minus 4 equals to 0 because I want to find out what is the intersection. So this one will give me x squared equals to 4, right? So x will be equals to plus 2 and minus 2 because square root 4. So here I would take this as a 2 because the minus 2 will probably be somewhere here, right? So I would be doing this. Yeah, so x is 2. So which means my blue color part is just integrating from 2 to 4. Okay, and then my function is y dx again. Okay, so which means I am doing 2 to 4, and my y is actually my x squared minus 4 dx. Yeah, then this is a 2. This is a 2. Okay, all right, so now just integrate power plus 1 over power minus 4x, and I'm given from 2 to 4, which give me, remember to substitute 4 cubed over 3, right, minus 4 times 4, and then I have to minus this whole thing, which is 2 cubed over 3 minus 4 times 2. Okay, now do it slowly. 4 cubed divided by 3. Okay, 4 cubed divided by 3 minus 16. I get 5, and okay, I get 16 over 3 here. And then I have to minus 2 cubed is 8 divided by 3 minus 8. So I get a minus inside here is negative 16 over 3. Okay, so I get 16. In the end, I got 16 over 3 plus 16 over 3, right? So I'm getting 10 and 2 over 3. Are you following me or not, Rachel and also Santini? So now I want the area of shaded, right? I not yet answer the question. Area of shaded region. So what should I do? The blue should minus or the red or the green should minus blue or plus. Area of shaded region. So what I should be doing is the green, because I want shaded region so I take the green, which is 40, minus the blue, which is 10 and 2 over 3. Okay, so it's a 10 and 2 over 3. Okay, don't know why it's not responding. Okay, 10 and 2 over 3. Yeah, so I'm taking 40 minus my answer. I'm getting 29 and 1 over 3. Okay, 29 and 1 over 3. Very good. We got it. Okay, so with that, where is the 1 mark given? 1 mark given is here. Let me see. Okay, to find out the whole thing, this one 1 mark. Okay, and then another 1 mark is given to your integration here. Actually, they want to see both the integration, the power. Okay, and then they want to see you minus them, and then sorry, minus them is over here, and then here also. Okay, yeah, so they actually give 1 more mark extra lah. By right should be only 4. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, any question to ask? No? Yes? Can I see thumbs up if you're okay? Good. Okay, Mariam is in. Okay, yeah, Mariam, I hope that you can understand. Okay, so if no questions, then oh yeah, okay, good. All right, yes, okay. So in that case, I'll just stop the recording. I'll be sending and sharing the record.